Hi. Today we're going to talk about 13 places where women like to be touched. It's like discovering the little secrets to making someone special feel good and happy when you touch them. Touch is super important, you know? It creates a special, almost magical connection that makes people feel closer and fall in love. So, if you're a nice person looking for a great girl, it's important to understand where and how to touch her so she feels comfortable and happy. We don't want things to get awkward, right? But also, if you never touch her, it's going to be hard to create that spark between you two. So, let's learn together how to do this in the best, most respectful and gentle way. Ready? Let's go. This is a topic that needs to be handled with a lot of care. If you want to have a happy and loving relationship with a special girl, it's super important to know where and how to touch her the right way. But don't worry, because I'm here to help. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. You're about to discover the best places to touch a woman and how to do it in a way she will love. If you want to learn how to make your partner even happier and more connected to you, stay until the end of the video. It will be worth it. Now, let's talk about the 13 places where women like to be touched. But before we start, it's important to understand that there are two different situations. The first is when you're not in a relationship with her yet. The second is when you're already in a relationship. And do you know why? Because the way you can and should touch a woman changes a lot from one stage to another. If you don't understand the difference between these two stages, it can end up seeming scary to her. For example, if you try to touch her the way you would in a serious relationship before you're actually close, it might make her uncomfortable because she might feel you're moving too fast. So, to avoid this, it's essential to understand how to act in each stage. Let's start with the first stage, when you're not in a relationship yet. Ready to learn? Let's go. The first place where a woman likes to be touched is on the hands. But if you're not in a relationship with her yet, that doesn't mean you should hold her hand like you're a couple. That's something to save for when you're really together. Still, you can touch her hand subtly. For example, if you're handing something to her, you can let your hands lightly brush against each other. This quick touch can give her that fluttery feeling in her stomach and make her think, wow, he touched me. That's cool. And believe me, she might even tell her friends about that moment and be excited about it for days. So, if there's a chance to lightly touch her hand, take it. The second place where women like to be touched is on the upper arm. This is a great point to start creating a connection. For example, if you want to show that you're being understanding or give a playful nudge, lightly touching her arm can be a good idea. This touch is quite subtle and won't scare her, but it's still affectionate and can make her start seeing you in a more special way. It's a great way to break the ice and start building closeness, without rushing and in a light way. The next place where women like to be touched is on the back. But here's an important tip: you need to know exactly where to touch. If you touch too high, near the shoulders, it might seem like you're just friends, and nobody wants to stay in the friend zone, right? Now, if you go too low, it might seem strange and uncomfortable for her, so it's best to avoid it. The secret is to touch at the height of the shoulder blade, a bit below it. This spot is perfect. It's a touch that conveys a sense of protection, as if you're taking care of her. It can be something simple, like placing your hand on her back while you're walking together or leaning in to talk to her. This gesture can give her a nice feeling of security and affection, making her feel those famous butterflies in her stomach. This touch is really special and can create a strong connection between you two. The next point is about the importance of sitting close to her. It's not exactly a specific place, but it's a valuable tip. If you're not in a relationship yet, don't put your arm around her. That's more for when you're in a relationship. The goal here is not to scare her, but to be close enough that she notices your presence in a caring way. So, sit next to her. This small gesture can make a big difference. Even if you don't say anything, she'll notice that you're close, and it will make her think, oh, he's sitting next to me. That's so nice. It's a subtle but adorable touch that can make her feel special and think that maybe you're interested in her. So don't be afraid to get a little closer and enjoy those moments of proximity. The next point is more of a tip than a specific place. She loves receiving hugs. A sincere hug is something very special and affectionate. It's a way to show that you care, and we all like a good hug now and then. Even if you're not in a relationship yet, don't be afraid to give a warm hug. It can help create a sense of closeness and show that you're interested in her. When you're in a relationship, a hug can become even more meaningful, bringing comfort and a sense of connection. So take the opportunity to hug her and make her feel special. An amazing tip for touching and making a woman feel emotional is offering her your arm. It might seem like a classic gesture, but it's super charming and thoughtful. If she's wearing high heels or if the path is a bit tricky, offering your arm is a lovely way to show that you're there to help and support her. This gesture reveals your protective and confident side and makes her feel safe and special. And of course, she might even feel a bit of your arm, which is a bonus. So don't hesitate to offer your arm. It's a simple but very meaningful and romantic gesture. Here's something I want you to remember. Being a gentleman is always a romantic thing. You know, many people don't do that anymore, so when you're a gentleman, you really stand out and are special. In my academy, I always say that kind men are the most attractive. They're the men that women really want to have by their side and love forever. So, simple things like offering your arm while you're walking together are super cute and show that you care. It's a simple gesture, but it makes all the difference. When we talk about knowing where and how to touch a woman, it's super important, but it's not everything. You also need to know how to make her want you to touch her. That means you need to get her attention and create a connection. If you don't do that, you might end up seeming a bit scary, and nobody wants that. So how do you make her want you to touch her? First, you need to learn how to talk to her and build attraction. Then, you need to show interest in a respectful and caring way. I know it can seem a bit difficult, especially if you've had bad experiences or felt rejected before. But don't worry. With a little practice and patience, you'll get it. Now, let's talk about how to touch a woman when you're already in a relationship. This is a bit different from when you're still getting to know each other. It's important to remember that touching a woman this way should only happen after she's already committed to you. If you try to do this before, it might seem a bit scary to her. When you're already dating and she's starting to fall in love with you, there are some special ways to touch her that will make her feel very loved and valued. For example, one of the most powerful and affectionate places to touch is her face. It's not something you should do on the first date, but when you're in a relationship, a gentle touch on the face can be really meaningful. This touch on the face can convey a sense of sincerity and affection, and will help strengthen the emotional connection between you two. It's a way to show that you care deeply about her and that you're present in the moment. So use this gesture with care and love, and see how it can make your relationship even more special. Another super important point is to make sure that when you're touching her, whether it's on the back, arms, or any other place, you're always attentive to her comfort and respect. It's essential to create a deep and genuine emotional connection. When you show care and consideration for her feelings, it not only makes her feel more comfortable, but it also increases the attraction she feels for you. Remember, the goal is to make her feel valued and secure, not just physically, but emotionally. Showing that you respect her boundaries and care about her well-being will strengthen the relationship and create a deeper bond between you two. That's what really makes her feel special and desired. So, those were today's tips on the places where women like to be touched. I hope these suggestions have been helpful and that they help you connect in a deeper and more exciting way with the special woman in your life. Remember to check out the other videos we mentioned, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing tips. Until next time, and may God bless each of you.